of round 6. Frank, when I first met Frank, I asked him what he did for a living. He said, I poke holes in the sky. I said, what? He says, I'm a rocket scientist. I work for NASA. And he, for the better part of 50 years, has been involved in the world of chess as a chess set designer. And these sets that you see on your screen, they're the Sinquefield Cup sets that were designed specifically for the Sinquefield Cup. Interesting. That's not a common feature on the Grand Chess Tour. Here we go. And this move order with the immediate future. So, as far as I'm aware, the way White is advised to try to get an advantage is to play for the Maruxi bind with c2, c4, or the way Nepo is doing it is to try to get
those are the
dragon.
the two main options, yeah.
Right.
But there are obviously differences with the pawn on d7. In this position, if we get to the position after bishop b3, there's a bunch of moves black can make, apart from d7, d6, which is one of the main ones.
Queen is really on the d3 square. I mean, there's no doubts. It's not between.
No, it's very firmly placed on the d3 square.
Centralized.
I do not know what this is.
But it's not just
asks the question, what about knight d7 coming with a tempo? Right?
Knight d7, knight c5, knight c6, c5, all of these things now are very, very...
But before we talk about the misplacement of the white queen on d3, talk about the misplacement of the black queen on a5. When in a dragon are you supposed to play queen a5?
I mean, so the old style dragons, I think, do sometimes include the queen on a5, not...
Queen a5 is considered...
I mean, very, 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 very old school, but...
Seriously, I haven't seen
170 games from this.
Wow.
But then after queen d3, I've heard that there's only 4 games ever played.
Yeah.
Queen.
Probably not by strong players.
And sorry, Peter, after the obvious, if you don't mind me saying it, queen d2, are you taking on d4?
Let's check, yeah. 9400 games, second best is bishop d7. Actually, after queen d2, you get even more games because transpositions start coming.
We wish it a long history to come. But queen d3, speak to me like, why? What is the queen doing on d3? I mean, why would you...
I think the way to explain it would be to try and compare it to other positions. And maybe... But I still struggle to figure out why. Let's say here it says white is much better. I'm showing the position after queen d3, knight d4, bishop takes d4, bishop b6. He's very highly rated. He'll get in by raising if needed, but he does want to fight for the win on the tour.
Of course.
And for that, he needs to start winning games.
Right.
50% with Alireza being on +2 is just not going to do it. against is
The
just
rover?
go rook 8 c5. Yeah.
The rook left, yeah, rook c5,
Yeah,
rook
and
a5,
then-
yeah.
Oh.
Which rook? Both rooks are good, right?
Yeah, but why not keep the one on c3 on c3?
Oh.
Because it'd be hanging, but he can't take it anyways. Yeah.
But you also mentioned, Peter, there was bishop d7, e5.
Yeah, but you don't want to allow h5, hg. You would like to end the game before h5, hg happens on the board, right? He
fair.
probably loses, but why allow it?
Fair. No bishop b3 sacrifices immediately.
Yeah.
We like the rover very, very much. In fact, rook c5 just looks like
It forces the rook on c1 to go somewhere because you need to be able to take on c3 if rook a5 happens. So you need
So
the
rook
c1
e1, let's say?
rooks, yeah,
Somewhere.
choose a square.
e1, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and now you,
Oh, rook c2.
in some cases rook c2 will win.
I think it's
Probably
just
here it does win
fine,
because I
yeah.
have bishop g4 check in the end.
Here, queen b3.
Queen b3, king c1, queen a3. King d1, bishop g4 check, and then something. After rook e2, something.
Why don't I have a pawn on f3?
Yes, yes, that is a very valid thing to ask yourself. Yeah. So I guess in order to stop that variation, you go rook c5, rook cg1. Something must win by force then.
Rook cg1. This is one of those, I mean, it's such a painful accident. You just avert your eyes. You rubberneck the traffic, like, oh.
Yeah, I guess we still do the same
Still
actually.
rook
We have
c2,
bishop
right?
e3 in the end.
Is it?
Bishop e3.
Rook c2, queen b3, queen a3. You have to go to g1 because otherwise I play queen a2, queen a1 mate, which is kind of
By the way, let me just put that
Yeah.
on the board because it is
Nice mate.
a pretty mate.
So you go king g1, and the simplest I think is just to play bishop b3 and collect everything, right?
So you want to play bishop b3, collect everything, and yeesh.
None of these things are.
This is, and we see Jan there at the camera. He's just looking away. His position's a train wreck. He knows that he's absolutely dead, stone cold busted, and he's thinking about
I don't know.
a menu. What's on the dinner tonight? I mean, is there a good movie? I remember during the Karen's Cup, Valentina, she came and she won the Karen's Cup, and we were asking what she was doing a lot closer.
And now Reza is just...
Very interested, Ali Reza.
Yeah, he's gone rook cf1, and now it allows everything. It allows
Bishop
both rook c2 and bishop takes b3 is probably even simpler. Let's show this one as well. Bishop
Okay.
b3,
Bishop b3.
cb rook takes b3,
Okay.
knight b3, queen b3,
Queen
Yep.
b2?
queen b2, queen d3, and then rook a5 check.
It's just... Not even winning the queen, it's checkmate.
It's actually checkmate, yeah. Because king a1, rook a5, queen a2, I go queen c3, right?
Yep.
And then rook b5. Yeah, bishop b3 played, yeah, you resign here. Yep.
And he resigns, and that's a quick win for Fabi.
And
It's kind of clear that Nepo just confused the move.
Yeah,
He had to start with
exactly.
knight b3.
well, queen d3 was confusing to us. Later, it made perfect sense. I mean, the preparation was actually world class until you don't play knight b3.
Yeah.
Peter,
Yeah.
I mean,
It was a very, very interesting niche idea against somebody. I mean, he couldn't have expected this from Fabi, so
Of course
this has
not.
been in the locker for somebody for years, I would maybe even imagine.
right.
And then to do this to your interesting new idea is, yeah.
Let me